您现在收看的是新西兰中华新闻通讯社华新视点。
Hi. After the China authority requirement for New Zealand dairy product certification, are there any more improvement needed to strengthen the control and perfection?
Well, I think that's up to the individual New Zealand exporting companies to make that judgment while working very closely with the Chinese authorities. I know it's been difficult for some companies. This company's been very successful. We've had problems in some of our companies, but my own view, I take a strategic, long-term perspective. From a competitive point of view, this tightening up of the regulatory framework by the Chinese authorities, which is entirely legitimate given the concerns of the Chinese consumers, this is going to be a good thing for New Zealand, because there are not all that many countries that are sophisticated enough to do the transparency that you can see in this company, for example, which monitors everything that goes on from the production process down through the distribution channel. This is you need a high level of sophistication to do this. So while some of our companies might have felt, a little bit disadvantaged as we transit to a more regulated, tighter system, I'm confident that in the long run, this will be a very good thing for our country. And I congratulate companies like this for taking advantage of their opportunities.
Thank you. And the second question is, what do you see the potential of New Zealand dairy industry, the future in China market?
Well, our exports are now of dairy just under 5 billion New Zealand dollars. So that's about $4 billion US dollars. We supply around about 80% of China's imports of dairy products. At the same time as Fonterra, our largest company, is investing with Chinese partners to boost local milk production. So the future is absolutely enormous, and it's all about the qualities that you can see in this company. It's about safety, given the problems that have existed, not just in China, but been a very big issue in China, about safety of children, given some past very unfortunate events that have happened in the last 7 or 8 years. New Zealand is looked on as the most reliable, or certainly amongst the most reliable, the safest producer of high quality infant formula and high quality dairy products. So I think the future for us is very, very great.
Thank you. And the last question, but not the least, do New Zealand government has any more stringent certification and control to prevent the future happening of dairy product quality or issues?
Well, as you know, we have tightened up our regulatory frameworks very considerably. I'm not sure that this is quite the end of the road yet, but I can certainly say that first of all, we will be working very closely, particularly with the Chinese authorities. They are our now largest customer, and we have to respect their regulatory frameworks. So if these evolve in a direction, you can be sure that the New Zealand government will have a political, legal and moral responsibility to look at the adequacy of our regulatory frameworks. So I don't think we can ever sit back and say this is as good as it gets. I think that's a complacent attitude, but we'll just continue on the same principle that I know underwrites the manufacturing process of this company, which is what in Japan is called the Kaizen, or continuous improvement. And I'm quite sure that our regulatory environment has to undertake the same philosophy of continuous improvement as consumer and other demands have to be met. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.